Hello and welcome to episode 93 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. We hope this episode finds you well, as always. Dex and Jake coming at you for another episode, 93 edging closer to the 100. How has your week been this week, my friend?
Up until today, it's been fine. Today's just been horrible. It's been good. Slowly getting things done around the house, and I've got the joy of Christmas birthday shopping now. So it's not fun. It's bank balance is going low very quickly. I'm getting to the point where, well, I could used to do a lot of shopping and have a bit of change left. Now I have a penny left if I'm lucky. It's just ridiculous. And Tuesday we had to have everything off so we could earn credit to get our electric.
That is so dystopian.
Oh,
right?
don't!
Because
I
was like saying, this is a ridiculous thing. Why do we even have to partake in it? And then Soph goes, "Oh, we're doing this thing on." But I was like, "What? What do you mean we're doing it?"
So our energy provider, Octopus, it's like if you use less energy between the hours of they set, they'll give you credit to your energy bill. And so far, we're in the top 10%, and apparently we've made the top 5%. And you literally sit there with candles on, with nothing on, your phone charged, and that's it. And that's it. It shouldn't be the case. It's ridiculous. But if it means more money towards my energy bill, I'm not bothered. Kind of thing.
It's not as if they didn't make enough profit.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. How's your week been, dude?
I had a weekend break, actually, and I still feel like crap. I mean, I had a lovely... Because I did it purposely. This next 2 weeks is going to be hell on earth. Next, probably 2.5, 3 weeks. So I purposely had this sort of break in mind. And honestly, I got to switch away for a couple. We went with So's family, so it was I was still being social. It's not like I completely switched off from the network. You know, me just being an antisocial person.
You didn't just lock yourself in a room and go, "Leave me
alone."
No.
When I have a full break, I will not talk to people, and just me and Soph will go away somewhere, and that will be it. I will not. Yeah. So this is kind of like one of those. It was very much there was a relaxing thing. It was a fun thing, but it was still I was still talking, still socializing. So it was not like the full switch off, if you get me.
Yeah.
But it was more of a holiday than a rest, if you get me.
Yeah.
You
told me. I remember you showing me where you went. Yeah. Was
that
as lovely as it looked on the photographs?
It was, yeah. It was next to a graveyard.
What?
Right. So we stayed because there was pretty much 4 groups of us going. Because you had the couples and then the kids and then the grandparents. So it was a case of we'd booked this nice big ranch house sort of thing.
Nice, it was stunning.
It was nice.
From what he showed.
It was nice, yeah. Not somewhere I would usually stay, but when there's about, I think there was 10 of us, 11 of us, and you're splitting it, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was sort of it's somewhere in the summer you probably wouldn't be able to afford it even if you were splitting it. Do you know what I mean? But do you remember the Modern Warfare 2 map with the ranch house?
Yes.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Without the violence. Well, then again, we did play Mario Party, so it could have ended up. It might have been.
If you had Monopoly, I would have turned around and said yes. There would have been.
Well, they provided games, and there was Fortnite Monopoly, and I was like, we're not picking that up. I did have Monopoly on the Switch though, and I was like, this could end badly. Because I've managed to avoid playing Monopoly with Soph's sister, but apparently she's as bad as me at it. And in terms of we both win. You play Monopoly with me, you ain't winning.
I don't play full stop because I can't do maths.
But Soph doesn't play Monopoly with me anymore because of this fact. And she said it's because I'm too competitive with it, right?
Yeah.
And I hear that as the fact that just nobody can beat me, right?
Yeah.
So they did come to a point on my birthday. It was about 3:00 in the morning, And we'd all been out, and we came back, and we'd got like this little apartment in Manchester, and we put Monopoly on.
Right.
And it got to a point where we did teams so it wouldn't be a conspiring thing. And then me and my mate Adam, everybody was conspiring against us just because I was on that team. Nobody do any deals. Nobody doing it. Oh, yeah, all right. So we're not going to actually move the game along. Just because you can't make the right deals doesn't mean that I'm the one with the issue. Right? But yeah, no, it was lovely. There was a hot tub, which I'm pretty sure they cleaned with bleach. Because we came out of the hot... No, it was more of a case of discoloured shorts.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, you know, when you've bleached something. And I was like, there's a lot of chlorine in here.
You just reminded me when you said Switch then. The Nintendo Switch Sport thing, they're finally putting the golf game bit of it on. And I'm going to have a play on that tonight.
That's going to be good.
I've been meaning to sort out Pokemon, and I haven't done it yet.
I'm really enjoying that at the minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I got back. Obviously, we came back Sunday, and it's Monday now. But I've just had one of those awful days where you're like, I'm so glad I had that break because I don't know how I'd feel even worse. You know, like when
I probably would have got a message saying, "Yeah, we're not doing it tonight. I need to."
I nearly did even now, man, because you know when you're in one of them spaces where you're just like, I can't be bothered with this anymore.
To be fair, I nearly sent you a message at around 2:00 going, "I'm not had a good day, mate." So it's
yours
funny
is to do with a roof though, which is equally as fun.
Yeah, it's not great. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like there's
a leaky roof somewhere, and Jake's got to deal with it basically, and that's not a euphemism.
No, it's not.
It would actually be very inappropriate if it was a euphemism given the situation.
Yeah, it's not fun at all. But everything is hopefully sorted now. Remind me, I need to do a phone call later. But it's just been one of those days where I woke up in a bit of a bad mood, and then it slowly got worse.
We must depress so many of our listeners. I must say, if you still listen to this podcast, and you're part of the core that still listens to it, like, I have much love for you.
Hang on. There you go.
That one doesn't need to be on the soundboard, does it?
No. I do need more stuff on the soundboard, though.
That doesn't need to be that. But no, this is the Talking Wednesday podcast. You can leave us nice reviews over on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, the likes of that, and we will read them out if you leave us one of those, and it's a nice one, and it's got 5 stars next to it. Also, you can rate us on Spotify, do all that. The Discord is available. However, I am locking it behind members, so that leads me to this next one. If you want to join the Discord, the membership options will be available. I'm revamping the Discord a little bit after Christmas because I've not had time to post in it, basically. But hopefully we'll be able to sort that out. And there is people that do post in it.
Yep.
If you've got anything you would like to see for episode 100, let us know. We have ideas, but leave the ideas in the comments or email us at... is it talkingwednesdaypodcast@gmail.com? I believe it's that.
Yeah.
Go email that. And we'll see what we can do as we get closer. 7 episodes.
That's gonna fly by
from that 100. But yeah, let's get into the actual football side of it. No league since we've spoken, but there has been a cup game, and this was Wednesday versus Mansfield. Jake, talk us through this one.
Mansfield were very good. I'm not going to lie. They really had a great game. Killian George were just having a blinder. No one could really stop him. And the annoying thing with this, I think we made about five changes or something like that. We made changes for this game because it's the cup. I get it. I know that some people will be like, he's tinkering with it again, but you've got to make changes sometimes. You don't want to put players on and then have an injury or something, which, funnily enough, that did happen. But it is one of those situations where they just looked more up for it. And it wasn't until we made the changes with bringing on Smith, Bannon, and co to like really change it. It really felt odd because they deserved to go through to the next round. Now, one of the things that came out across again, it was another kind of one of these things where it was a good chance for Wilk to show what he can do a bit more. And at the minute, it's not clicking yet. And fans are already starting to get on his back about it. You can see that. But Michael Smith does save us, thanks to Barry Bannon coming on as well. Marvin Johnson with a cross to the back stick. Michael Smith slides in, makes it 1-1, and then identical goal pretty much to make it 2-1, and that's it. But I felt really sorry for Mansfield because out of the two teams, they absolutely deserve to go through. But we're learning to win ugly. And it's something I'm not used to seeing us doing, if you know what I mean, because it's not what we do as late. And the annoying thing about this game is we lost Icky to a contact injury on his knee. We lost Gregory, who went off as well. Little bits of injuries are starting to stack up. Hopefully, they're all ones that can come back. Because we'll talk about one in later, because there's one about Josh Windass maybe not looking great. And we got through, great. But I can understand why some people are like, we don't want a cup run. But the cup run will help us possibly put money in for transfers in January, because that's how I'm looking at it. In a sense, the more we go through in the competition, the more it'll help in January. But then when does it get to that point where you've got to think, right, we need to concentrate on league with where we are, if that makes sense?
It all depends on if you can keep the winning momentum going, and the fact that we came back in this, you want that sort of mentality to it. You know, the fact that you can come back and turn around a result.
Yeah.
You want to keep that sort of fighting spirit in the side. And I think it becomes a hindrance if we're seeing players go down injured, which...
there are 3 clubs at the minute, actually, who have all got 50 goals plus in the 92. Name them.
Us.
Yep.
Man City.
Yep.
Give me the league.
1.
Ipswich.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Ipswich immediately, but I didn't go for it.
That's pretty incredible, considering 2 of them are in League 1. So it shows you what we're up against in terms of what's going forward. But we're into the next round. I think we're drawn tonight. I think we're ball 60. If you want the derby, it's 39 we want.
I do not want the derby.
No point, but it would be good.
No, it wouldn't.
Right, the derby would be good in terms of ticket sales if it's at home. But do you know the one?
No.
You know the one I kind of want?
Go on.
Because it will get a TV coverage. Wrexham at home.
That'd be good.
Because it would be a TV game. Because it would be, hey, the Hollywood Club. Because I hate that they're called that now, but that's what they become now.
It would be. They are. I need to watch that documentary. I heard it's very good. So I'd take that.
Yeah.
Remind me, is it are all the Prem clubs in it?
Yes. There's a Prem and Championship clubs now.
So we're drawing Man City away again and we're losing.
Hey, some people might get to see Haaland.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just listen to that sentence.
I know I did.
What you just said.
Yeah, I know.
We're Sheffield Wednesday, right?
I know.
How high are we fall? Oh, we might get to see Haaland.
I know. It
is where we are, unfortunately. Yeah, but the fact the way you've said that, like, that's so depressing.
Yeah. But it is where we are, sadly. But that little mini, all we've got to do now, once we get back to doing league, and we'll talk about it near the end, is just concentrate on ourselves. Cut runs are great, but we're just going to pray these injuries are nothing too serious.
Yep. No League One review this week. Were there any League One fixtures?
No, I don't think there was.
In the middle of it? They wouldn't have been considered have all been... Let me just have a look. Because would every team... Remind me what round that was.
Round 2.
Oh, so all the teams would have been in it.
No,
or are we at that time where we actually go in? We do play round 1. I always forget because we were in the championship for so long.
Yeah.
That I forget.
So we beat Morecambe round 1, and then we beat Mansfield round 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's been no games. I have been watching more of the World Cup. I've not watched as much of it as I thought I would. But that is. I did manage.
Richarlison's goal was insane.
Yeah, it's all right, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's all right. We'll see how we get on night of this podcast. Actually,
yes,
against Wales.
I knew you were going to do an accent.
No, I did it terribly there because I chickened out halfway through because you meant to go Wales.
Yeah.
So you got to go. Yeah.
I just hope it better than the American game because that was horrible.
I watched that whilst on a break, right?
Yeah.
And I was getting increasingly sloshed through it. And I was like, what is this? And I was with Also's family, and his sister just kept going, why aren't they even trying? And I was like, you know when some people don't like football specifically? And I was sat at the TV, and I was like, I don't really have an answer for this, because we are being shockingly bad.
You need to play Foden versus Wales and drop Mount.
He loves Mason Mount, though.
I know he does.
And
I've already said if Southgate stays after this World Cup, which I don't think he will. I think this is his last thing with us. I think we're going to have the whole Lampard, Gerrard situation.
This is arguably a better team than we had back then.
Yeah, it is.
Right, this is arguably, on paper, the best English team of all time. And if you think of the stats we've got, the stats we've got in the players we've got, they're just not being utilised properly.
No. And it's a shame, really, because there's chances and opportunities. It's like he, after that World Cup final, he just decided, well, we played some good stuff then, and it was nice and stuff, and he just said, I don't want to risk it anymore.
Mm.
And it's weird. I just don't get it. Risk it. What? We go out. I'd rather go out trying to do it than on a whimper if it happened.
Technically, we're not safely through.
No, we're not.
Because if Wales beat us, it's going to get a little bit tetchy.
Yep, just a little bit.
Not for Wales. Wales would have to, put 4 past us. Yeah, they'd have to batter us.
Yeah.
But, because USA are on 2 points, right?
It's amazing how much that win against Iran was so much needed.
Yeah. So, Iran are on 3 points. USA are on 2.
We're on 3.
We're on 4.
4, yeah.
So, if Iran, no, hang on. If the USA, we don't really, yeah. If Wales beat us 4-0, and the USA win,
yeah,
then we're out. But I think that's the only way, isn't it?
Let me have a look. I just brought it up. England are virtually uphill battle.
Because even if we got a point, Iran and Wales was a point, they would be on.
If it means that all teams still have a chance of reaching the next round of going through to the group game into the final from the group game. England is in a strong position with 4 points in 2 games, and Southgate's side will have to avoid a 4-0 defeat. Yeah. Like you just said. The United States must win to progress, while Iran will go through with a draw unless Wales beat England.
Yeah. I was going to say, we can't not go through unless we lose 4-0.
Yeah.
I'll get your popcorn ready. Just play Harry Maguire on his own.
Yeah.
Right. Should we get into the actual Wednesday news? So we talked about the match. Starting off with Lee Gregory talking about his reduced playing time. This is from The Star. Asked about how he feels about that reduction in pitch time, the 4-goal striker revealed he has held meetings with Darren Moore to have honest discussions over his frustration. Quote, I'll be honest, I'm not happy when I'm not starting, and I've impressed that to the... Impressed? I'm having a stroke. I've expressed that to the gaffer as well. I genuinely can't speak. Let's try this again. I'll be honest, I'm not happy when I'm not starting, and I've expressed that to the gaffer as well. He said, at the end of the day, this is our job, so I tell the gaffer I'm not happy with his decision, and then I move on and try to come on and to contribute. That's just the way I am. I want to start and play every game, and unfortunately I'm not. I can manage myself now, I'm experienced, and I can manage myself away from the training ground and everything else. Listen, we're not into falling out and arguing or anything. Gregory said, making it clear he loves the club. We've just had talks about the fact I'm not happy when I'm not starting. It's a long season, everyone has to contribute. It's like that, there's no big argument, and I'm not unhappy with the club, but I want to be starting. End quote. I'm going to end the quote there because this, I think they've been talking about, I remember, was it this interview where he was saying he'd sign the contract if it was put in front of him?
This is the interview where he turned around and said, look, there would be no negotiation. This was the contract put to him. It would just be signed and done. And in that sense, it makes it a no. We have spoke about this, but it makes it a no-brainer if that's the kind of case. Put him in contract in front of him, let him sign it. And the problem is, if he's not going to be guaranteed game time, will he want to sign it?
Am I right in thinking he was injured against Mansfield?
Came off injured, yeah.
Yeah. Do we know the extent of that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But it's leaving us a little bit short, actually, now then. Really short. Because technically all you've got is Smith, Wilkes, Patterson. Because Gregory... It technically, if Gregory and Windass are out in your kind of strikers, Windass can go anywhere.
I'll tell you what then.
Well,
this is something we didn't have in the document, but I've just noticed we missed it because this came out today. This broke today. So in terms of strikers bringing in, this is from The Star, who's been watching Gary Neville's Salford documentary.
Yeah.
The headline reads as follows. Gary Neville confirms Sheffield Wednesday and Blackburn Rovers' interest in striker over the summer. Thomas Asante.
Ooh.
So Brandon Thomas Asante signed for West Bromwich Albion in August after impressing at Salford in League Two and has since gone on to score 3 goals in 12 championship matches for the Baggies. But in the latest episodes of the Sky documentary series Class of 92 full-time, it was revealed that Darren Moore's Owls, Barnsley and Blackburn Rovers were both in for the forward prior to the move for the Midlands. So, we have been trying for players, and that was alongside with Wilkes. So, obviously, that's not happened.
Alongside Wilkes and Sam Crossgrove at Plymouth on loan, because we were going to look at him as well. So, it's not like we haven't tried to get people in. He would have been good.
But does that mean they just go in for more in January?
I think it does. I have a theory, and it's an interesting one, because I'm wondering, because there was stuff midweek about something. It's in the document, actually, so we'll talk about it later. But I'm wondering if Darren Moore's been told by Chancery, look, if you can get frees in and a couple of loans and the players you actually want who are needing paying for, and then in January, I'll make some money available so you can go get those players that you really want to, like, just go through the season. You know what I mean? I wonder if there's been a talk like, if you can do better with what you've got now on freeze in January, if we need it, I'll get the checkbook out.
Yeah. Well, it's a good midpoint for it, really, in January, where you look to go, do I bring in some more players and sort of really push on, depending on where you're sitting in the league? If we're in playoffs, could this cement us in the playoffs? If we're going for where Wednesday are right now, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's in that position of, do you throw money at it and ensure that we get into that top 2?
I kind of think you've got to, because we can't have another season in League One.
Oh no, it'd be so damaging for the club.
He got to have the targets ready, which he probably does. We do know Darren Moore's very good at that, and say, this is how much, get negotiation, even if it's sometimes getting negotiation done before the window opens, which is a possibility. So it's all done and dusted. In terms of like what the team want for it. And it's what we need is another striker and possibly another defender, maybe a winger. I think that's it. I don't think there's much we need, but we do need a bit of pace on the wing. I know we don't play with traditional wingers, but it'd be nice to have it if it's something to come off the bench. You know what I mean?
Mighton.
Yeah, but what if Mighton gets recalled?
I know, but we're not. But Mighton's probably the best option you could really go for there, and we're not using him.
And he's looking better the more he plays. I'm not going to lie. Whatever the reason, I don't know what's going on with Wilkes. I don't know, because I'd seen it when I've done my video. People have very much been like, he's rubbish. We shouldn't have gone for him and all this kind of jazz.
Has he ever had a consistent run of games?
No.
There's your point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And you can say that for other players that can come on, and you've got to remember Gregory and Smith are more experienced. They are your poachers that will come on and they will literally get themselves in the right positions to score the goals. It's just what they do. They can make, like Smith, they can make an impact from the bench.
Yeah.
Wilkes possibly brings you that bit of flair and that bit of creativity, and you need the confidence in him. You need the backing, and you need to give him a regular run.
Yeah, and
I don't know why we don't just play him off someone up top.
He played constantly. 8 games in League One and 1 goal and 3 assists.
And how many of those were starting? You probably can't see the stats there.
Hang on. Let me have a look. I can actually. Let's have a look. Starting. He is. They're all off the bench. Most.
I know he started a couple, but I don't know if that I'm getting confused in the league now. Between the league and the cup.
Oh, it should be on the bench. On the bench. No, he's not started. It come off the bench.
He started one of them, I'm sure.
You sure it wasn't a cup game?
It might have been. That's why I'm. I'll try to take your word on that. But like,
he started at weekend.
Just needs a run.
A
run of games. Play him as part of the front two.
Yeah.
Especially if Gregory is injured, just stick Wilkes up there and back him.
It might be that thing we have to do that and just turn around like, look, show him what you can do.
Do you remember when we were like, why have we signed Berahino, and then we played him for a few games and he got an hat-trick?
Yep. Yeah. feels similar, doesn't it?
It's sort of playing to this, and Berahino was, you can see now it was more of a temporary signing, but Wilkes has got a future with us.
Oh God, yes. And he got the ability to change a game, but it's just not there. I don't know if it's a mental thing or what, but whenever you see him play, people go, he's lazy. Like, I was speaking to a Hull fan and a Donny Rover fan, and they were saying, well, on his day, good. But my mate who was a Barnsley fan said he was rubbish for us. It's like, I think it's different places. I think it's just trying to get the best out of him and getting that confidence.
I knew he was going to have a rough ride when he signed and he came on and he did one step over.
Yeah.
And immediately around me in the ground, there was old men going, oh, who's this guy think he is? He's not that good, is he? Why have you signed him? And I was like, oh my God, here we go.
But that being said, he may turn into that player that Gregory turned into the back end of the season, because he started to, you know what I mean? Like, we are a team that does tend to finish quite strong. And some players that you think who haven't had a good season, Byers came into that team in January last season and changed it.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. There's a lot of the season still to be played. There's so many games in this league.
It's just nice to see us being up there in a fighting chance this time.
Yeah. Luke Jackson's gone to Matlock on loan. This is from the Wednesday website. Quote, ours goalkeeper Luke Jackson has joined Matlock Town on a 1-month loan deal. The 20-year-old has returned to fitness and has been a regular in between the sticks for the under-21s this season. Jackson, who joined Wednesday in 2018, is eligible to feature in their first game immediately. So he's gone on a sort of emergency loan, that sort of 1-month loan. good to see it. Just get some experience under your belt. I like to see us loaning players out.
Yep.
Especially if they're not in and around the team. How do you think Dawson got on against Mansfield?
Didn't do too badly. There was some spells where he can't play it out from the back. He's not that kind of keeper. And I don't get why we tried it with him, because it just doesn't work.
I mean, he probably could be. He's not that old.
He could be, but it's...
We're trying to get Stockdale to do it. He's not done it for his
That's true.
entire career, pretty much.
That is very true. He didn't look too bad, to be fair. And it's one of those ones, Dawson is one of those interesting ones where, is he going to be the next keeper for the future for us? Because it's a position since Westwood, and it's very much the same when we had Chris Kirtland and that, where it's a position we're not very good at getting a player ready to be the next number one when the number one we've had is about to leave or retire. And it's something we need to do better at. We got a good load of keepers, and that's the annoying thing. I just don't want us to put ourselves in another situation where we have Dawson and Wildsmith, and you're like, one of these needs to step up. Which one?
Well, I thought Dawson would probably be playing a little bit more than he is when he came back after that loan spell. So you're not keeping hold of him for too long.
No, he contracts out in 2024.
I'd be really interested to see how quickly this Pierce Charles can rise through the ranks as well, because he's a highly rated prospect.
He's very good.
We might as well use him for a season and then have him robbed off us by a Prem team.
It's all right. Dexter's already planning this. We're going to have Pierce, we're going to have the Cadamartri brothers up top, and then we're just going to lose them to like Everton or someone.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll happen.
Yep.
So Wednesday can drink. Wednesday fans, Star were reporting that Accrington Stanley, I think, I'm not going to put the exact figures, they were talking about like 70k or something.
Yeah.
Spent on hospitality stuff.
So if you're on like Twitter, their owner always puts out who brings the most fans. I think Derby have actually done 80,000 and we did like 74,000. He did a correction. But it's interesting seeing what we bring to other clubs in terms of their revenue when we travel. Because I think as fans, you forget that when we bring players, that add to that club revenue. And at Accrington Stanley, it was all three sides had Wednesday fans in them because they opened it up for more fans so they could get more tickets in. So very smart.
And honestly, clubs that don't think they're going to get a result from us and are going to sit mid-table, just do that.
Yeah.
We'll fill your stadium.
Oh, God, yeah. We like a day out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually hard. It's so hard to get away tickets. Like
they go so fast.
Yeah, it's as hard as it's ever been. Which is
it's weird as well. Base, isn't it? The away tickets go really fast, but home tickets we don't seem to fill it.
No,
it's odd.
No, it's. I think you. I think there's a dedicated away
traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, that there's a vibe.
And there's a lot that want to try and tick as many grounds off the list as possible.
Yeah, and like there's so much there's so much of an atmosphere when you go away with Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
Home's quite quiet nowadays.
Home's very quiet. The atmosphere at home's been a bit lackluster.
And I don't mind that if we're coasting a game.
Yeah. It's when we're not.
But we can pick it up because we said this last season and then we got to the playoffs and it all lit up again.
Yeah.
Literally, keep the phones away next time. Christ. It was all right the first time.
Yeah, you don't need it every
time.
It was
quite quirky, right? I was like, oh, that's nice. And then we did it. And we lost!
Oh, God, that's going to be on the Sunderland Till I Die documentary.
Yep.
Oh, no.
It'll be fun. So let's skip the out of contract players. We'll do a big topic on that as we creep closer. We are going to. I am forcing us to take some very much needed time over the Christmas break. We'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 weeks of pre-record with a bit of maybe an update in the middle. if we can sit down. But I want you to have time with the family.
Yeah.
I want to have time with the family. I just like
a big refresh.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it'll be needed. A supercomputer has predicted where Wednesday, Barnsley, Ipswich, all the teams will finish. They fit all as many as they can in that headline, Yorkshire Post, so they can get all their clicks. I respect it. There's more than I read out. So let's just go for the predicted table, okay?
Yep.
You'll like this. Sheffield Wednesday at the top with 91 points. Ipswich with 90 points in second. Plymouth with 90 points in third. So goal difference being the fact of their Derby rocketing themselves up and ending fourth with 80 points. Barnsley with 77 points in fifth. And then Portsmouth rounding out the place with 74 points. Bolton losing out on the playoffs with 74 points on goal difference. Peterborough with 72 points. And then let's just jump down to the bottom of the table. Accrington Stanley. Forest Green Rovers with 38 points. Morecambe with 40 points. Burton with 42 points. And Cambridge with 47 points. All getting relegated. With Accrington Stanley also getting 47 points. But goal difference keeping them up. So, if I look into this article a little bit more, Ipswich's promotion prospects are rated at 62%. While Plymouth's overall prospects of going up are rated at 58%. Sheffield Wednesday have given a 65% chance of promotion and a 30% chance of winning the league. So that's how that's all gone out there. What do you think to this?
It would be very interesting if this was the final table, and it would be gutting once again if Plymouth miss out like on automatic this time and have to do playoff because they missed out on playoff last season.
I wouldn't be too gutted. No offense to Plymouth, but I wouldn't be too gutted by that because
I'll talk about rowing back
because they would be the ones that like are going to stop us getting there.
Yeah,
right.
I know what you mean.
Could they just lose? I'm bored of it now.
everyone would be happy if this would be the case, and by looking at this looks like it would take it down to the last game of the season as well, which would be interesting. The prediction for the bottom lot, though, I still think MK Dons are going down.
Yeah. I actually think they're on a. Yeah, they're not. I don't think they'll have a resurgence.
No. I think they're massively struggling, and it makes sense considering what they lost in the summer. You don't able to take your best defender out of that team and then your best attacker and not be able to try and fix it. And I think they're gonna have to put it this way, they'll have to have a very big January. And if they're already maybe planning for League Two, how much are you gonna throw at it?
I'm leaving a lot of pauses today. I wonder how many people have checked the podcast feed. You're finishing these topics so nicely, though, Jay. You've been on it this week, which is great. So when I'm working on half brain function, you're doing very well. Could Sheffield Wednesday be after a Huddersfield Town player? Alan Nixon has linked us recently, very recently, as in a couple of days ago, with Dwayne Holmes. He's a left winger, American player. He plays for Huddersfield Town, and he's linked us, Stoke City, and Luton Town,
and Derby County.
And Derby County. Sorry, yeah. Carry on.
But I'm not 100% sure if Derby County could do it because he's still technically under contract. And I'm pretty sure Derby is still in like the similar situation we were in, where they can't actually pay a fee. He's worth around 2 million. He's 28. It would give us that pace we need. I do remember when he was at Derby, he wasn't that bad. I think he went on loan to Gunthorpe and had a really good spell. It would be interesting to see if this was something we would do. It's one of those ones where, yes, he's not in the team at the moment. You know,
is he in the World Cup?
I do not know.
Let me have a look. Carry on.
It's one of those ones where I'm not 100%. You remember when we brought in Lang?
Yes.
It feels like that kind of thing, just missing something that we need to like give us a spark, and it could be what we need. And if we are going down the route of saying, hey, Mr. Chansiri, I need this, this, and this. Here's your money. Go get him," kind of thing. And 2 million, I don't think is that bad. You probably could get it even cheaper. But he can also play across the midfield as well. There's been some people who've been turning around and saying, "Oh, this is the Deli Bashiru replacement." Well, it's not. He's a left winger.
Yeah, he's more of a he is more of an attack-minded player, but Deli Bashiru is an attack-minded
Yeah.
midfielder, in fairness. But he's 28, as you said. He's in that age where he's in the prime of his career. He's got 2 assists so far this season. He's not at the World Cup, by the way. I've just checked that.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to go for it because he's on a 3.5-year deal.
Yeah.
So he's into that now. He'll have a couple of years left on it at Huddersfield, but he's only the only thing I think about it is, could the Deli Bashiru thing be a legitimate thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And it's the problem with that, we've missed the opportunity to sell him because no one will sign him now in January if they know they can get him for free, unless they desperately need him now. But we're in no position to negotiate now. It makes you wonder, was it worth keeping him if he doesn't sign? Then in that Blackpool, or
can I also think like this could, if we take away from the Deli Bashiru thing, could it be the fact that it might be that Mighton's getting recalled and we think we might as well just sign someone who we've got cover from for the wing and the midfield like we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, it could be. It's one of the one we may have already been told that, hey, you're not having him back in January.
Yeah.
1st of January, we're going to put him in a championship team for a season, like similar to what Wolves did. No, they didn't put him in a championship. They put him in a championship team this season. Sorry, but similar to what Wolves did with Corbeanu, left alone. Then he went to another club. So maybe they're thinking the same. Because let's be honest, Mighton hasn't played enough yet, and I can't see that going down too well with Forest. They like him to play week in, week out if they can.
I think you bring in a bit more experience now, and he's got that. So I think we're in a position where we've got a really good young bunch of players, as well as some of the experienced players in there. But if you think about when you're signing to try and go on a promotion push, do you bring players that maybe they've got some potential in them, or do you bring the players that you know are going to be pretty solid for you and can come in and do a job? I'd like to see this one happen.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. It would just show where we're thinking as a club, and I think sometimes it's nice to see where the club is going and where the vision's going in sense. And if it means it's another player that's ours and not a loan, it means we're not relying on loans as much like we did last season. I think we've only got 3 loans in the team this season. And I think that's a massive thing. But the big one for me, would you possibly turn around to Blackpool and say, we'll have James off you and get him off your books as well?
I'd have James at the club, yeah.
With us obviously needing left backs and right backs now.
Yeah, if we could get him for like a fee like 400 to 600k, I'd have him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to spend a fortune.
No.
How much did he go for? Was it undisclosed? Let me have a look.
Good point. Probably will be undisclosed. I think he had a good League One campaign at Blackpool, and then they got to Championship. It just didn't really.
Well, he's 29, and if they're sending him on loan at 29,
yeah. And when you did his interview, you could tell he was looking for that break to not. And it could. You never know. He could turn around and say, "Look, you don't want me. I don't want to be here. Why don't we just kill the contract?" And he comes and does a free.
We have seen that happen before, but it's not always. It's football's.
I'm just saying, Ronaldo, like you can come and have a game at Hillsborough. You still haven't been.
I'm just having a look. He went to Blackpool on a free by the looks of it. It doesn't say this, but James signed for Doncaster Rovers on a 2-year deal in June 2019 for an undisclosed fee. On 5th of October, he scored. So 2019, he then was there for 2 seasons. So that'd be the 2020 end, and the 2021 would be the 2 years. He signed for Blackpool in July 2021 on the 1st of July. So that would say to me that he went on a free
agent.
But that also means his contract, he's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah. Wait.
But if they've signed him and they're not...
Yeah, but they've had a manager change, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's the thing you've got to remember. They had a big manager change.
Yeah, I would probably go in for him there. Where are they? Blackpool? Oh,
they're in relegation.
Oh, that's the thing. Relegation is...
The problem with the 2 players we've got on loan is that Cardiff and Blackpool are in that position where we may want to bring all players back to try and help us.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
That's the worry. He was a free agent.
Maybe Dwayne Holmes could just be a player that comes in an attacking mindset and just helps us fire us on the top 3. But I will finish by reading this FIFA card, which is a 69 silver rated left winger, 79 pace, 58 shooting, 66 passing, 73 dribbling, 63 defending, and 58 physicality. So wouldn't be bad for the first season or so if you are into that sort of thing. We'll see if it happens.
Yep.
Right. So reports coming out of pretty much everywhere, right? I think it's one of the... I originally saw it. It piqued my attention when one of the clubs that cover... One of the places that cover... One of the Twitters that covers Hibs was talking about... It
was Hibs' actual official Twitter.
Yeah, they're saying, Ryan Porteous will not be signing a new contract with them. So, Wednesday have been linked to this guy. If you don't remember, he's that 23-year-old defender who we were talking about was the right age. Go and find the podcast where we spoke about them. It might have been a breakout as well, so all of our thoughts will probably still be there for this one. This is sort of like if Mark McGuinness is going at the end of the season, you can't sign Mark. Do you know what would be very exciting?
Signing both.
Yes.
It would.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Ryan Porteous, Mark McGuinness, centre-backs. Solid.
And then you've got Akin to fit into that at some point.
Yeah. Well, there'll be players in for him, though, and he's done this very publicly, so...
Yes.
But we could negotiate with him from next month, from January, sorry, because he's in the Scottish League, so we could do what Celtic did to us.
Yeah.
To Hibs. You want to see it happen?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a position that we need strength and depth anyway. Again, I didn't like it when I got laughed at a little bit by you at the start saying, we don't need any more centre-backs. Well, I was right about that one.
You were right about that one. I'll give you that one.
But I think we're getting to that point where we need to bring the age of the squad down anyway. It's good having the experience of, say, a Whitway and Palmer who can play that position. I'd rather him not. Palmer better when he's out doing his left wing-back role. The thing is, we're getting to that point in defence especially where we need to start getting some more bodies, because for left and right back, it's Hunt and Palmer. James, who's not our player, we don't have much cover there. We need to start bringing in players for that position. I think when you're looking at the squad, it's the defence where we need to start looking for the future and planning it more. And I think if we get it right, it'll be superb. But I think this will be a really good signing if we can make it happen. But harder when you've got the likes of Millwall and Stoke. And Millwall, I believe, are in a playoff push in Championship. So
yeah, that's the thing. Millwall are doing really well this season. So players that are linked with them would want to go to them. You would think
exactly
in the short term at least.
We said that before, and we've seen what Darren Moore's done. We weren't expecting a Will Vogt to come to the club.
No,
he's very good at convincing players into what he wants to do. We've had it before where we've gone, how have we signed him? And gone, and in the interview, it's automatically gone, well, I spoke to Darren Moore and it's how I want to play things. It's like the Darren Moore effect.
Indeed. He's He's got away with players.
He's a canny wheeler and dealer.
Somebody called me Dex Redknapp on the FIFA career mode the other day because I kept saying the phrase.
What, do you just turn up in your Range Rover going,
well,
yeah!
you know, I can't do Harry. Is Harry Redknapp's one I can't do. Genuinely, like. No, I made some really good signings. You should watch the career mode. It's getting quite good.
It's getting very good.
A new episode just went out at the time we're filming this, actually, and I need to film some tonight. But yeah, well, I'm gonna try and possibly wrap that up by Christmas as well.
Yeah,
because I need my time back. I'll do another series or something, but I was thinking I might do a series that doesn't require as much effort as the career mode in terms of sitting down and doing it in a specific schedule. I know I've got a plan. I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to focus on a different type of content, and I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
But it's something that I can do maybe when me and Soph are just chilling or playing some games or something, and I can do something in the background, and then I can come and edit it whenever. It's not like a career mode where you constantly need feedback from the audience.
Have you played this year's FM, by the way?
No.
I ain't got it yet. I think I might miss this one out and get next year's.
It's on Game Pass, man.
I know. I just don't want to do it on the app. Oh, I can do it. Never mind. I'm being stupid.
Yes, you are.
Yes, don't worry.
If you got Ultimate, you've got it on both.
Yeah, I have. So yeah, I'm being stupid. Don't worry. Been a long day.
I didn't buy it last year because it came on Game Pass.
True.
You know, so I played a lot of it as well.
That game that just sucks all my time. I have to be very careful when I play football.
I'm really trying not to play those games anymore because I'm moaning about like not having enough time and stuff like that. So I'm not playing this. I've not even bought the new God of War.
No, I haven't.
I've purposely not doing it to myself because I'll just want to play the games all the time. As I said, I bought the Pokemon so I can sort of sit on it and jump on it in handheld, or when I'm just like
adulting sucks, doesn't it?
It really does. Who decided that we had to follow this sort of system, right? And who decided that some people get to be born into money and have to do sod all, right? Just because somebody was pointed towards Chelsea or something when birthed. Well, we'll work for it, shall we? We'll do. We'll do. Oh, hang on, I shouldn't say that about you. They'll be at you in the comments again.
All right, I'm not alive, so it's fine.
No, you're not. You already passed. No, but it's yeah. Just
going to my funeral. He's advertising everything.
I'm just ready to pack it all in at the minute, man. I'm just like,
I know.
If we weren't in a cost of living crisis, I'd probably sack off my current work life for a few months, and use whatever I've scraped together to just try some different things out again. You know. Wow,
that took a turn.
It did. Barry Binnen. Barry Binnen. Barry Binnen.
Well, you don't put them in top bins.
Yeah. Barry Bannon has won the goal of the month of goal. I can't. Can we just end?
Barry Bannon won the Sky Bet League One goal of the month of October. His first strike against Cheltenham topples the supporter vote by the EFL official website. With the game still in the balance, but the Owls 1-0 up inside the final 10 minutes, the captain settled any lingering nerve with a stunner hit from distance. Collecting league record ball from the right flank, Bannon took a touch to control it and set up another by unleashing it unstoppable effort and flew into the top corner. Wednesday went on to win 3-0. Keep it coming, Baz, from the Sheffield Wednesday website.
Thank you very much. Moving on. I saw it on the Ipswich Twitter, actually. They've had a couple of injuries in there because I saw it get retweeted going, oh, this is why you don't play players in the Pizza Cup, and people saying, oh, I'm glad we're out of the Pizza Cup. Is it Freddie Ladapo that's gone down for them?
It's Ladapo's injured, but it's Harness as well.
Right.
Marcus Harness. And I think this is why I think it was last week, there was talk about more Whittaker at Plymouth, who currently on loan from Swansea, about Ipswich possibly making a bid for him in the January transfer window. And then there was talk about maybe we could do that as well. And I think they're in a position where they can throw money at this. Ipswich will throw money at this season because they wanted to do it last season. It just didn't work. With the possibility of taking a player from Plymouth, who's a rival at the moment in the position in the table, going to them, that will be interesting to see what happened. And it wouldn't surprise me Swansea did it set, because it feels like they could probably do what we had happen with Will Vokes, where we had him on loan, an offer came in, and they went, "You're gone." And if that happens, that could be interesting to see what happened. But it's interesting watching what's going on with Ipswich and Plymouth. Plymouth have got some injuries at the back. Ipswich are now starting to get injuries. We're starting to get a little bit. And it's getting that time of year where everything gets a bit nervy when you see a player go down. But it's also that time of year where we can then dip into the transfer market and get someone in just in case. It's very much like when we got Mark McGuinness in, we dipped in because Akin went down. So there's going to be teams who are going to try and snipe other teams to try and make it different. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
We need these teams in the Pizza Cup if they can pick up knocks and stuff. As bad as it sounds, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
We need any little advantage we can get just to try and get out of this league at the minute.
Exactly.
Just want to say before we go into the next match preview, good luck to Dom Howson as he stops covering just Sheffield Wednesday. I'm sure he'll probably never see this because I'm sure he doesn't check all of the Wednesday podcasts even when he's covering them. But I've always thought Dom's coverage has been solid. You know, his sources have been fantastic and his write-ups have been great. So we've obviously quoted Yorkshire Live many times in this, and then obviously when he was at the Star as well.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of work, and I think he's going to lead up the EFL stuff for the North. I think, yeah, something. I think he's still working for Yorkshire Live. He's doing some of that, but he won't be man on the ground.
It's like he's moving into a different area of the company, kind of thing.
Yeah. So the
new person taking control is Ricky Charlesworth. I think he's similar situation. Yeah. Dom Howson, I'd like to start my new role as EFL editor for Yorkshire and the North East. Looking forward to working closely with the talented team. And it's interesting because he's now got a load of people who he's going to now manage, and it's nice to see how far he's come. Because when he first started, he got some pelters and it's been good, but he's a very good writer, and he's always covered Wednesday with respect, and he's always he can take the jokes as well on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whenever there's been stuff, he takes the jokes. He's in with the stuff, and it's nice to see him push on and get a bit further in his career and covering all of the EFL now instead of just Wednesday. And I'll be interested to see what he does next.
Well, no, I just thought it's definitely worth the mention on the pod as well, because we've been quoting these things for so long.
Yeah.
That when we quote Yorkshire Live in the future, it will not be, because whenever we've quoted Yorkshire Live and says this is from Yorkshire Live, it's been Dom writing it.
Yeah.
So that will change going forward. So best of luck to him in his new role there.
Yes. Very much
moving on from the Wednesday scene. Right. Sheffield Wednesday play Derby County next at Pride Park, where we have not beaten them for 16 years.
No.
16 years.
Oh my God. I've just seen who's in the starting lineup for Derby County.
What, on the 30th of April 2006?
Darren Moore, centre-back.
Oh, yeah.
I've only just noticed that.
So that game on the 30th of April 2006, Darren Moore is the centre-back. That's the last time we beat Derby County at Pride Park. Lee Camp in goal for them.
Oh, got Carson in goal for us. This is when we had Bullen, Coughlin, Burr, Foley, McAllister, McGovern, Burton, Tugguy. Leon Bett when we loaned in the first time.
Yeah.
So would you a win?
Just a bit.
And it's a 12 o'clock kickoff as well.
12:30.
Is it 12:30, 12? It's one of those, the other.
Yeah, I can't watch it. I can't go and I can't watch it because I'm working that afternoon. And I'm really sad about it.
Can't tell.
Which is quite frustrating because it's going to be one of them I'm going to have to watch the score through.
Mendes Lang is injured.
I'm shook. That's a shame. I was hoping he wouldn't track back and we'd score. Anyway, they've got 29 points. They're 8th in League One at the minute. Their home record is 5-1-2, so they're pretty good at home. They've only lost twice. Their away record is 3-4-3, so 16 points at home, 13 points away. They scored 23 goals and conceded 16 with a goal difference of 7. The last match was a 0-0 draw with Portsmouth. Now, Derby they're still finding their footing in this league. They're being very inconsistent. They've been a bit like we were last season.
We do have an advantage, though.
Go on.
We have 2 former players who played under him at Rotherham.
I just thought you were going to say that we know all their chants because they're ours.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if Darren Moore is asking them what do you think he might do. I know different team and stuff, but he'll take his same principles like he's done at Rotherham there because he's slowly making them hard to beat at times. When they played Newport at the weekend, I thought
Did you say
what?
At Rotherham?
Yeah. Paul Wall, the Rotherham manager.
Yeah, sorry. It's because I was looking at a stat and I thought you said Darren Moore at Rotherham and I thought you were making a Doncaster analogy, and this is why I shut up usually. Carry on.
But I thought it'll be interesting to see how they play because it's one of those things, they are hard to beat, but they still got little mistakes in them. And I still don't think they can sign players. So when I see stuff linked with them to players in terms with cash, I'm pretty sure they're in like a 2-year transfer embargo or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But it will be a big statement as intent if when they can get the win, because the other thing, I think Ipswich and Plymouth both play on the Friday night. So we will already know what their result is. Ipswich at Fleetwood and Plymouth have got Vale at home. So they're both at home. So
we're both unbeaten in the last 5, by the way.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, this one.
Yeah, we need to play well. Play well, see how we do, and hopefully get all 3 points and break another hoodoo.
It would be a hell of a statement if Ipswich, Plymouth do drop points.
Yeah.
And we beat Derby and actually take advantage of it.
Especially if Port Vale beat Plymouth at home and they haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
Because they are just stupid at home.
43 points. We've got 43 points. We're not even in December. We will be as.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It shows you how strong the leagues are getting. If you look at all the league going down as well, like Championship tight, League One tight. I think the only one that's Premier League's a little bit tight, but not by much though.
It's the Premier League's actually looking all right this season. Don't worry, they'll have the Super League soon. That's coming back, I can tell you that.
Well, depends. The Americans are all selling up, aren't they? Liverpool's owners have put them up to sale, who were massively for it.
It's just the shift is going from America to the Middle East.
Yeah, a bit uncomfortable with it, to be fair. But it makes sense. Then again, the talk like the Manchester United lot may already have a buyer lined up, and it could be more American investment. So
yeah, and there's talk of a consortium led by Beckham as well. He'd be the head point of the consortium.
That'd be fun. I think the one with the United one, if they want it, it wouldn't bend great, but they would. The Sir Jim Radcliffe, the bloke who owns Nice, and Mancunian, loved Manchester. He had a chance to buy Liverpool and turned it down. But it'll be interesting because you're seeing a big shift in ownerships at the minute, and it's interesting watching it and how it's going, because as much you look at what City are an investment group, so they're the investment group similar to like Newcastle, same with Saudi Arabia, Dubai, all that kind of thing. They're all like big groups that invest, and it's interesting seeing how the model shifted from how it used to be. And you got to remember, I think they only bought Man City for 350 million, and they're probably worth billions now. So if they did want to sell,
I like the Premier League this season though. Arsenal got a 5-point advantage on Man City at the minute. Liverpool are having a shocker. They're all the 6th, but yeah, Arsenal they could genuinely win the league.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes that all or nothing documentary even sweeter for some of the people. Like, oh look, he's a rubbish manager. He's thinking people going just stick with him.
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking about Sheffield Wednesday at some point in this podcast. But that's all I have for this week's episode. Anything to add, Jake?
Just have a good week and just try and relax as much as you can before the craziness as the December comes.
Yeah, please do. If there's any like long form topics you'd like us to discuss when we do the pre-records over the Christmas break, where we will take some time, we want you to still get episodes. So I'm just going to confirm. Yeah, talkingwednesdaypodcast@gmail.com. Drop us an email. Drop us some of your suggestions on there if you can't find a thread or something on YouTube, and give us some ideas for episodes. If you get them in sort of now, we've got a couple of weeks to plan, and we can sit down for an hour or so and record them as it comes up, and that'll be a nice way to round off the year, I think. But yeah. But that's all from us this week. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode when I'm hopefully actually forming sentences.
Working with me for nearly 2 years. Catching.
Of Talkie Wednesday.
See ya.